Welcome to the Explainer. If you're a data apprentice, you already know the deal. Raw data is almost never clean. So today, we're diving into how you transform that messy data into something you can actually trust. And we're going to use two key apprenticeship standards as our guide. K8, which is all about spotting the problems, and S6, which is all about fixing them. Let's get into it. And really, this says it all, doesn't it? Everything we do, every report, every dashboard, every single business decision, it all comes down to the quality of the data underneath. You know, getting this right isn't just some technical box-ticking exercise. It's about integrity. It's about whether people can trust the conclusions you draw. Okay, to make this feel real, let's put ourselves in a scenario. Picture this. You've just started as a data analyst at a food delivery company, let's call it Hungry Now, and you've just been handed your first big project. So, your manager wants you to analyze delivery times. Sounds simple enough, right? But then, you open the spreadsheet, and your heart just sinks. You're seeing negative delivery times, dates in 10 different formats, whole chunks of data just missing. This isn't a data set, it's a digital crime scene. And this, right here, is where your journey as an analyst truly begins. Okay, but don't panic. You are not going into this empty-handed. You've got a powerful toolkit ready to go, and it's all built around those two standards, K8 and S6. Seriously, think of these as your secret weapons for turning a data disaster into a data masterpiece. Let's break it down. It's actually super simple. K8 is your detective skill. It's all about spotting the risks, identifying the problems, finding the clues. S6, on the other hand, is your action plan. It's what you do about it, how you mitigate, escalate, or resolve those issues. So first you put on your K8 detective hat to find out what's wrong, and then you switch to your S6 engineer hat to build the solution. So how do we actually judge data quality? Well, we use these 6 dimensions. It's like a scorecard. We ask ourselves, is the data accurate? Is it complete, or is stuff missing? Is it consistent? Is it valid? I mean, does a negative delivery time even make sense? No. Are there duplicates all over the place? And finally, is it timely and up to date? This is how we grade our data's health. All right, theory is great, but let's get our hands dirty. We're about to face 5 of the most common data villains you'll find out there in the wild. And for each one, we'll see exactly how our K8 and S6 toolkit helps us win the fight. First up, the ghost in the machine, missing data. You know the feeling, you see those blank cells where a super important piece of info, like the delivery time, is supposed to be. So what on earth do you do? Okay, your K8 move is to figure out the scale of the damage. Is it just 1% of your data, or is it a whopping 20%? Because your S6 action totally depends on that answer. If it's a tiny amount, you might just drop those rows. If it's more significant, you could impute a value, basically make an educated guess. But if it looks like a huge systemic problem, your job is to escalate it and find out why it's happening. Our next villain, the master of disguise, inconsistent formats. This is when one column has dates written like January 1st, 01/01/2024, and 2024/01/01 all mixed together. It makes analysis totally impossible. With your K8 detective hat on, you profile that column and hunt down every single variation. Then, for your S6 fix, you just pick one standard, like the universal year, month, day format, and convert everything to match. A real pro move here is to build a little automated checker to catch this stuff in the future. And then there's the clone army, duplicate records. You see the exact same order ID showing up 2, 3, maybe even 4 times. This is a sneaky one because it can seriously inflate your numbers and throw your whole analysis way off. Your K8 check is easy. Compare the total number of rows to the count of unique rows. If those numbers don't match, you've got duplicates. The S6 fix for exact copies is simple. Just remove them. But the real skill is investigating the near duplicates. They might tell you a deeper story, like a customer trying to order again after a payment failed. Now for a villain that just breaks all the rules of logic. Invalid values. A delivery time of -12 minutes? A delivery distance of 5,000 miles? This is data that makes absolutely no sense in the real world. Using K8, your brain should be screaming, wait a minute, that's impossible. You run checks for logical ranges. Delivery times have to be positive, right? Your S6 mitigation is to then build validation rules that catch these errors automatically. And the golden rule? Whether you decide to exclude or replace the bad data, you must document exactly what you did and why. Okay, our final villain for today is the placeholder. This is tricky because a column might look full, but it's filled with useless junk, like TBC for to be confirmed, or maybe just the word null typed out as text. So your K8 job is to scan for these common placeholders. But for your S6 response, you need to think bigger. Don't just delete the value, ask why it's there. This usually points to a problem with how the data was entered in the first place, and that's something you need to escalate. If you just delete it, you might be hiding a much bigger operational issue. So after we used all our K8 detective skills on that Hungry Now dataset, this is what we found. This chart just lays it bare. Our biggest problem by far is that a full 20% of our delivery times are completely missing. There's no way we can move forward with an analysis when the data is in the state. So now we switch to our S6 toolkit and build our plan. Step 1, isolate the problem rows. Step 2, we're going to impute those missing values using the median delivery time for that specific postcode, which is way more robust than a simple average. And step 3, the most important part, we document every single thing we did. And look at that. Here's the result of our hard work. It's a total transformation. By putting our S6 plan into action, we've taken that messy, unreliable column and turned it into something clean, trustworthy, and finally ready for analysis. But hold on, your job isn't quite done just because the data is clean. For every data apprentice, the final, absolutely crucial step is being able to clearly communicate what you did. This is a huge deal, especially when it comes to your endpoint assessment, or EPA, that final review that signs off on your entire apprenticeship. Think of this slide as your secret weapon. When you're building your portfolio, you need to use powerful, specific I statements, just like these. Don't just say, I cleaned the data. No, say, I profiled the dataset and quantified the null rates. Explain how you applied standardization to dates. Show that you know when to fix something yourself versus when to escalate systemic issues with a formal ticket. That is what mastery looks like. Let's wrap this up with one final thought. Because at the end of the day, dealing with messy data isn't just a task you check off a list. It's a mindset. It's what separates a good data analyst from a truly great one. It's all about having that constant professional skepticism and an unwavering commitment to quality in everything you do. So I'll leave you with this last question to think about. You've done it. You've cleaned the missing values. You've standardized the formats. You've removed all the impossible errors. Your dataset is now technically perfect. But does it actually reflect what's happening in the real world? That question, that's the next level. And that's the constant quest of a great data analyst.